Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and also check out our Instagram at Carryandcut and our Patreon at Carryandcut. Really do appreciate all the patron support. All the proceeds go directly back to the channel to buy new nice and new equipment to hopefully make the quality and the content better for you guys. So today, I got another one of Jimmie Crowe's knives to check out. So Jimmie, thank you very much. Really do appreciate all you do for the channel. And this is a Sitivien st128. ST128, whatever you want to call it. It is definitely a full-size knife, and this thing definitely reminds me of an Ontario Rat #1. This is a Rat 2 right here, other than the handle shape, but the blade shape kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that kind of resemblance going on right there. But this thing is definitely a pretty cool knife. It is definitely not, I wouldn't say oversized or overbuilt or anything like that, but it's a large knife, definitely a big one. We'll go over some specs of the actual blade, but the handle on this thing is super ergonomic, and I really do. I mean, I like this. I'm just telling you things that jump out to me right off the rip. So we got some, really nice. You wouldn't think this jimping is very good on this blade right here because it's so spaced out, but this thing is definitely deep and it gives you some nice traction. Then we also have some kind of like a row, funny looking jimping over here on the actual back behind the spine of the blade right there, and we also have it on the underneath where your fingers are going to be sitting. And for me, on just getting the 4-finger grip on this thing, it's actually past where my hands even are. So if you're wearing big work gloves or you have big hands, this thing is definitely gonna be pretty sweet for you, and especially for the price point. If you're looking for just an awesome knife to throw in your pocket to go to work with, if you work outside in the trades or anything like that, this thing is gonna be great to beat on and abuse, and it's definitely pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. What are we looking at here? We have a dual thumb stud deployment. We do have a liner lock that has really good lockup. I mean, we are, if not 50%, if not more on that lockup right there. We have G10 on the handles. These were JG10. Jimmie Crowe actually did one of his famous dye jobs on these. So we did what did he do? He did a Rit dye synthetic super pink. And these are contour G10 for that also. So you're getting, a dang near 4-inch blade of D2 steel. We'll go over some specs on the actual blade length though, but it's probably pretty close to 4 inches if I'm looking at it, maybe 3 3/4. But you are getting G10, sculpted G10. We're not really getting a deep carry clip, but it's still a pretty nice, steel fold-over clip. It's not too bad. Good retention on it, not too bad. Really do wish that the screws for the buckle clip were actually recessed in, or at least flush head screws, but that's not a big deal. We're really not. We're nitpicking at that point. One thing it does stand out, I guess it's probably just because these are actually contoured, the G10 is, but the way they got these dished out for the hardware for the body screws, and we are looking at T8. Yep, T8 on the actual body screws of this thing, which is definitely pretty nice. Love to see that. That is my favorite thing ever. So we got T8 on the pivot, T8 on the body screws. We have T6 for the clip screws still. Not a big deal. We're getting past that thing in life. It is what it is. We're accepting that. And we have amazing access to the lock bar in this thing. I really do like to have that cut out for your thumb to just, get right in there. And this thing has crazy good action for how much it is. I mean, for $24.99, it's kind of hard to beat, what these Chinese manufacturers are putting out. And I've always been a pretty big fan of Sitivien knives. I think they're, great for what you get. And we do have a nice lanyard attachment point there built right in, so we just got a hole going right through. And, I'm not a big fan of when companies actually prioritize the lanyard holes over the clip. So, sorry, Steven, I know you like your lanyards, but I feel like we could have, I don't know, almost, maybe I'm just saying this thing wrong, but I guess if the design of the knife was a little more, we had a little more squared off butt here, then you'd be able to move this clip farther up. Not a big deal. I mean, that's what you're going to have sticking out of your pocket. So it's not a crazy thing at all, but it is what it is. So, but overall, and the thumb stud deployment, I was getting to where it kind of reminded you of the Rat series. And if you've ever messed with them, you're kind of forced to flick this thing one way. It's not like some other typical flipper knives where I don't even have many flippers knives to even show you, but you really have to force this one, you can really, if you just go straight up, you kind of have to flip it out like that. And I don't want to say it's easy to fail, but once you get that thing moving, it just flies right on open. So it's definitely weird. Like some knives you can reverse flick with your middle finger back here on the actual thumb stud. On this one, definitely have a problem. So it's just a whole different style. I think it's just like the geometry and where the actual thumb studs are placed on the knife compared to the pivot, I'm guessing. Not really sure how that old magic works in there. But that's just something to keep in mind when you're actually looking at this thing. So we do have a high flat grind, full flat grind on this D-tube steel here. Sitivien does a very good job on the D2 steel. Not really sure the Rockwell hardness on it, but it's still pretty good. I am still a fan of D2 steel. I really do like to see 14C more, but it's not a big deal. You know, it's just not stainless, but it still does hold edge for a very long time. Nice and tough, and for the price point of $25, I mean, you know, we're really picking and choosing there what we want. So let's go ahead and get a measurement on this thing. We can't complain too much with the price point, especially for a full-size knife like this one is. So let's go ahead and get us a measurement here from tip to the end of the knife. We are over 8.5 inches. I'm going to go with 8 5/8 inches. Blade length coming in at right at 3 3/4. I'm going to go sharpened edge. The sharpened edge is over 3.5 inches, so we're probably inch 3 and I don't know what you want to call that, 3 5/8 ish, something like that on the blade length. So the cutting edge, which is definitely pretty nice to see. Let's go ahead and do get the weight on it. Get Miss Carryandcut's kitchen scale out. At first, when I was looking at this knife and I'm looking at these divots here, these like little dishes, it almost looks like it, you know, was designed to be a button lock knife. But all the research that I've done, the things that I've looked at, I've never seen any button lock models of this one, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. So we got 4.9 ounces on this one, and it you know, you can definitely feel it. I mean, it's not a small knife by any stretch of the imagination. It feels like this thing is, you know, ready to be put to work, and I really do like a knife that has some good substantial, you know, weight to it at the same time. Everybody likes a light, small knife. I get it. But at the same time, me personally, I'd like to, you know, feel what I'm using. So, all right, so we're looking, you know, pretty much the exact same size as the Spyderco Endura, so that's pretty cool. You know, we're right on par with that one. And then let's go with the Benchmade Presidio 2. It's another, you know, full-size knife. And that's a pretty good lineup right there. We're dang near about all the same size. And let's go ahead and throw a PM2 in that mix. See if we can kind of fit all these in the camera here. Alright, go ahead and throw our PM2 up there. Alright, so we're pretty much all in the nice family of the same size. So, Presidio, still need to do a review on this one. That was the brass PM2, and then our Endura right there. Alright, so that was our size comparisons. We did the weight, we did the overall measurements of this thing. Carry profile, it's definitely a pretty, you know, thicker of a knife. You know, it's not as thick as your Presidio 2. You know, this thing does have pretty substantial liners on it, though. They're definitely thick. There's going to be no flexing when you're messing with this thing, which is nice to see. And this G10 isn't going to mess up your pocket whatsoever. I do like this clip, though. I'm not going to hate on this clip. I do like how this kind of duckbill, how it just slides right into your pocket. You know, that's definitely something that's important. There's nothing worse than a knife that you can't fit into your pocket. So, at least, I don't know, is that the hem of your pocket? Is that how that works? I'm not a seamstress. I don't know what the actual terminology is, but when this thing slides in onto the pocket clip, it makes it for a pretty nice carrying experience. What I'm trying to get at. Man, that was hard to get through. So, all right, guys, I think that's about, well, that'll probably just about do it for this one. I don't know what else I can say about it. Like I said, we went over the blade. We got D2 on steel, dual thumb stud deployment, tip up, right hand only carry, sculpted G10, liner lock, nice liners, awesome lockup, pretty good clip, and we do have a one barrel, well, I guess we got two barrel spacers back here. I don't know if that one actually serves as a stop pin too. It kind of looks like it does serve as a, I think it does serve as a stop pin. Yep. So that's pretty nice. We do have like a stop pin here that's also kind of a back spacer, barrel spacer kind of ish, and the one back here. So nice to see. You know, there's minimal screws on this thing. That's one of my favorite parts about it. So for $25, really can't beat it. Obviously, link down in the description below if you would like to check it out. Until then, thanks.